At Volkswagen Lease Summit, car buying's as easy as 1, 2, 3. All our new cars are priced to lease at $199, $299, or $399 a month. Plus, we have rates as low as 1.9% for 60 months and used cars for every budget. We make car buying easy. Get to VWLeaseSummit.com.
I really can't keep track of all the lawsuits and court cases that Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey is dealing with right now when it comes to the Biden administration. Certainly, the Biden administration is keeping our Missouri Attorney General busy. He now joins us on KCMO Talk Radio. Andrew, we appreciate the time as always. Take me through this week. I know you've been focused on a few things, but specifically the student debt bailout that has become a tenet of this administration, despite the Supreme Court calling it illegal last year. What are you doing on behalf of Missouri on that front this week?
Yeah, Pete. Well, first, thanks for having me on. Always appreciate the opportunity to talk to you and your listeners. Look, this is about stopping President Biden's illegal, unconstitutional attempt to buy votes in a key demographic that he's losing ground on in polling. The Supreme Court has already struck down his first attempt to, quote unquote, cancel student loan debt. And what the Supreme Court said was that if Congress is going to authorize the president to redistribute $500 billion, then they have to put that language in the text of a statute explicitly. Congress has refused to do that. They've twice rejected bills that would do exactly what the president's trying to do, once in 2019 and again in 2021. And so there is no legal authority for the president to act. The Constitution gives Congress the power of the purse. The president has pointed to the Higher Education Act of 1965 as the fount of his legal authority, but the text of that statute says that the Department of Education can amend the terms of debt repayment. Well, amending terms of repayment is different than cancellation. President Biden's exceeding the scope of the statute authority granted to him. He knows Congress has not given him this authority, and he's out there around the stump bragging about it. But I'm not going to let President Biden saddle working Missouri families with Ivy League debt.
So what does that mean then in terms of where this case is at, where it goes from here, how it can be stopped, if at all? Where are we at in that legal process?
Well, we filed suit shortly after he announced his plan, and we filed suit in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Missouri. We cobbled together like-minded state attorneys general that are here in the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals in the Midwest, and we were in court this week arguing in favor of an injunction against President Biden's illegal, unconstitutional attempt to redistribute $500 billion of debt. Again, this is going to cost taxpayers in Missouri significantly, more than $900 million because of the Missouri Higher Education Loan Authority. This is an apparatus of state government, a creature of statute with board members appointed by the governor and confirmed by the Senate that administers these programs, and it's funded by the General Assembly. And so at the end of the day, that's the hook for the standing required to get into court, and that's what won the lawsuit in the first iteration. We argued that case in February of 2022. It was handed down, February of 2023, and the Supreme Court in June of 2023, 1 year ago this month, ruled in our favor. And so that same case law should be precedent and should apply in this case, and that's what we told the judge. I think the judge at the district court level in the present suit will give us a decision and should issue a stay order within the next 2 weeks.
Wow. Okay. All right. Good to know. Andrew Bailey is here on KCMO Talk Radio 95.7 FM. Now, the other big thing that came down this week, specifically tied to Kansas City, you wrote and you posted it yesterday on social media. In our fight to stop Mayor Lucas from defunding the police, we just scored a huge win at the Missouri Supreme Court. What is that for people that weren't paying attention yesterday? What is that all about? How does it tie to funding the police here in Kansas City?
Well, Mayor Lucas has consistently attempted to mess with the Kansas City Police Department's budget. And as you know, there's a board of police commissioners. The mayor's on that board, but there's other board members, and they're appointed by the governor and confirmed by the Senate. And that's intended, that structure is intended to take politics out of the management of the police force. And we've got to never defund our police. At a time of rising crime rates, this is the last time that we should be messing with police budgets. We need to increase their budgets so they can recruit and retain good officers to make our streets safer. And we need to support our police officers. Yet Quentin Lucas has consistently fought against a constitutional measure that defends the budget of the Kansas City Police. And the governor has put that on the ballot for a vote in August. Mayor Lucas argued it should be in November. But we went to the Missouri Supreme Court yesterday, and the Supreme Court determined that the governor had acted appropriately in placing it on the August ballot.
All right, so that's going to be on the August ballot to basically require a 25% funding of the general fund for KCPD here in Kansas City. Now, if you look at this, I got that right?
Yeah, no, it's a structural mechanism intended to protect the Kansas City Police Department's budget to ensure that the folks in Kansas City and Jackson County have good policing.
Mm-hmm. Andrew Bailey, Missouri Attorney General, is on KCMO. Media Matters. They are a dangerous operation. You're going after them tomorrow. I mean, this is quite a week for you. What's going on with Media Matters tomorrow?
Yeah, Pete, don't be mistaken. I mean, the Media Matters masquerades as a not-for-profit media watchdog, when in reality, it's a tyrannical left-wing progressive advocacy group. And what they did was solicit funds, to include soliciting funds from Missourians, and then converted those funds into a market manipulation where they juxtaposed controversial speech on X, formerly known as advertisers on X. And they did that in order to bully those advertisers into pulling out of X. They don't like X because they can't control it. X is one of the last social media platforms dedicated to free speech in America. And the left can't stand that. They want to control the narrative. They want to silence conservative voices. Certainly, we've exposed that on other big tech social media platforms, in our case, Missouri v. Biden. And so what we're looking at here is we've launched an investigation to determine what market manipulation occurred here, who benefited, who coordinated that, and were funds solicited from Missourians under false pretenses? When Missouri donors gave to Media Matters, did they know that those funds were going to be converted into this market manipulation to attack X? And, certainly, again, the goal of Media Matters was to destroy X, to destroy one of the last platforms dedicated to free speech in America. Media Matters has sued me. They don't like this investigation. They don't want to have to comply with my investigative subpoena. So they sued me in the United States District Court in Maryland. We're going to court to fight back. I've countersued in Missouri. The suit is most appropriate in Missouri. It's governed by Missouri law. That's what gives me the authority to launch the investigation. So they should have to litigate here. And that's really the question before the district judge in Maryland this week.
We'll be following Andrew Bailey on KCMO Talk Radio, the Missouri Attorney General. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.
Hey, Pete, all the best to you and your listeners. Talk soon.
All right, that's Andrew Bailey on KCMO Talk Radio. My head's spinning trying to keep track of all the lawsuits he's involved with. Student loans, bailing them out, police funding back here in Kansas City. You got the Media Matters deal he's going at tomorrow. He also threatened the administration on a lawsuit yesterday, with it being Gun Violence Awareness Month. The White House posting on social media, they will call on Congress to ban assault weapons, enact universal background checks, end the gun industry's immunity from liability, and pass a national red flag law, to which Attorney General Andrew Bailey said, "You continue to actively violate the Second Amendment." Got it? More lawsuits coming. So he's just like, you get a lawsuit, you get a lawsuit, you get sued, you get sued. He's just going all over the place with this. So a lot happening in the AG's office down there in Jeff City this week.
At Volkswagen Lease Summit, car buying's as easy as 1, 2, 3. All our new cars are priced to lease at $199, $299, or $399 a month. Plus, we have rates as low as 1.9% for 60 months. And used cars for every budget. We make car buying easy. Get to VWLeaseSummit.com.